Guys, it's the long-awaited return of living legend, real boxing, with Coach Ronnie Shields.
Ventures proudly presents living legend and elite level trainer Ronnie Shields.
Guys, welcome. Happy Tuesday to all of you guys. And if it's Tuesday evening, well, that means it's time to visit with the living legend, the incomparable Coach Ronnie Shields. Ronnie, how art thou, sir? Woo! I tell you what, brother. So can you hear us, Ronnie?
Yes, I can hear you well.
Very good. Well, I'll tell you what, we're on borrowed time right now. It looks like we might not even be able to make 60 minutes. So let's get right down to it. Now, we haven't visited with you in a second. So we didn't even have time we haven't even gotten a chance to get caught up on Anthony Joshua versus Daniel Dubois.
Right.
Now, right now, I'll bet you he's thinking, I should have gone to Houston and trained with Ronnie Shields. You snooze, you lose, brother. So, Ronnie, what were you thinking when you saw that unfold in front of 98,000 at Wembley Stadium?
I don't know, man. He didn't look like himself coming out at the beginning. In the first round, his legs looked like they was worn already. I mean, it's looked like he was carrying bricks, and the jab wasn't there, the right hand wasn't there. And I was like, wow. I mean, he just looked odd for some reason. Even, going into, when he was walking, that long walk they had them walk.
Yep.
Right? I mean, He just looked like he was in outer space. He didn't look like himself,
Nope.
And then when the bell rang, he came out and nothing on his punches. I mean, I was like, wow, something is wrong.
If you didn't know any better, he kind of resembled a fighter that overtrained, didn't it?
Well, not necessarily overtrained, but he just, I don't know, man. He just looked like he didn't want to be there.
Well, he can't blame it. You can't use the Deontay Wilder excuse and blame it on a heavy costume.
It definitely wasn't a costume. It definitely wasn't that.
Yep. And guys, let's jump right to our brother G Funky Boxing. Welcome to the show, sir. And he says, yeah, AJ's legs had legs like a newborn pony after that first right hand.
Yeah.
Now, you're very familiar with Anthony Joshua. You've seen him up close and personally. Did you know that was pretty much the end when he caught that first right hand? And once again, he's got the heart of a champion, and he had the will to win. He just didn't have the tools at Wembley that evening, and you could tell it was over, couldn't you, Ronnie?
Well, actually, I thought that first right hand was going to wake him up. I said, okay, now he's going to get down to business. And then, nothing. I mean, I was like, man, he can't be done already. I was really in shock because, I know he trained really hard, and it could be a possibility that he did overtrain for the fight. But all in all, man, it just didn't seem like the Anthony Joshua that we all used to seeing.
No, it didn't. In fact, I'm going to use the Emmanuel voice. Joseph, look at his legs. He's got no legs underneath him. He looks like a shot fighter. Oh, he resembled a shot fighter, Ronnie. Now, do you think that may be the case, or do we need to play this one back, sir?
You know what? For being who he is, and just people have voted him out before, and he's always come back. So, with me going through it from the beginning, at the beginning, I said, you know what? Maybe it's over with for him. He needs to just go out on top and, leave it for the younger guys. He's 35 years old, but just running it back when, he had other losses like Tavares, then he came back and he avenged that loss. And, he looked similar to the Ruiz fight, actually.
He did.
And then he was able to run it back. So, and he was able to come back and he really looked good doing it. So, I think he deserves another shot. I really do.
As long as you can draw that kind of crowd still.
Yes.
It's like it's hard to say no, isn't it, Ronnie?
Yeah, I mean, that's the hard part about being so popular is that people don't want to see you retire. They know he has come back in him because they've seen it before. And, and so many people are rooting for him. That's a good bet. That's a good thing sometimes. And sometimes that's a not so good thing, because,
oh boy,
because the older you get, your body changes. And, and you're more susceptible to get hurt more now because you're not that 22, 23-year-old that you think your body is compared to, which is not, so it's one thing to say, you know what, I'm not going to go out this way. And then you come back, so many fighters have come back and it didn't end well. So I just, I think it's okay for him to come back, but I really don't want to say it against Dubois. I think it should be against the winner of Fury and Usyk. I really believe that because I think he's safer there. Because Dubois, man, he just ran through him like a train on the track.
Yeah. Well, I tell you what, right now, if you're Alexander Usyk, and even if you're Filip Urgovich, you've got to be feeling pretty good about yourselves. Because Daniel Dubois looked like a wrecking ball.
He did.
On that night. Oof, he looked to be a force. Well, congratulations, nonetheless, to Daniel Dubois. We'll see what the future holds. But I tell you what, SSV Diving, welcome to the show, sir. And he says, breaking news. Wait for it, my brother. Wait for it. And we want to say hello to our dear friend, the Boxing Scientist. Guys, if you haven't already, please go subscribe to my brother, the Boxing Scientist. And thank you for supporting the coach on this day. So it's been a minute, so let's get right into it, because like I said, we're on borrowed time here.
Hey, we ain't ducking and dodging nobody. It's time for Fact or Fiction.
Oh, it's been a minute since we've heard that. Hey, you know what?
Yo.
Oh, he's the big Scott Hall. I love it. Hey, Boxing Source. Brother, check your Twitter messages, homie. I sent you the link. We're waiting for you. Come on now. Yeah. This wouldn't be a show without Big James, but I tell you what, we'll get started though. Number one coach, Jermall Charlo, will be featured in the co-main event of Tank versus Roach on December 14th in Houston, Texas. Fact or fiction?
That could definitely be a fact. So, but I don't know if he's going to be the co-main or the opener. I'm not sure because his brother is also supposed to be on the show. So I'm not sure about that either. But I just know about Jermall definitely is going to be on the show.
Well, look, if Al is trying to set up long-awaited showdown between Jamal and Canelo. He would be wise to feature him in the co-main event against someone like Boo Boo Andrade.
Oh, I
What say
haven't
you,
heard that
Coach?
name. I haven't heard that name, so I don't know.
So, can you disclose what names you have heard, sir?
Not at the moment.
Okay, very good, very good. We'll take that as a pass. But I tell you what, it's going to be good to see Maul on the big stage once again. And I, for one, will be front and center because I know I may have one or two fighters in the prelims of that show. So, yes, hooray, hooray. Thank God it's in Houston. I love it. Number 2. Oh, boy. Fact or fiction, Coach. Tank Davis is facing Lamont Roach Jr. because he was the only fighter in and around 35 that wasn't demanding a small fortune. Fact or fiction?
You know, that could be a fact. You know, look, everybody know Tank garners a lot of money. So, you know, people are going to overprice themselves to get that fight, you know. And look, Roach is champion at 130 pounds, and these guys have a amateur background together. So it's not like they don't know each other. They know each other very well. And I think it's going to be a good fight.
Yep. I think it's going to be a much better fight than, say, Canelo versus Hamburger Langa. What say you, sir?
Absolutely.
Chingo. At least he's going to try to win. Shit. We haven't talked to you about that either. What were your thoughts when you saw Berlanga catch that beautifully set up left hook by Canelo, flooring his ass in the third, and then Edgar Berlanga just trying to do his best Mel Charlo impression and survive to reach the final bell? Were you thinking, oh, man, come on now?
Yeah, you know what, man, some fighters are different than they were back in the day. You know, everybody back in the day, you know, they put up, if you got knocked out, you got knocked out. But at least you tried to win the fight, you know. And Berlanga didn't fight until the last round, you know. And that's a shame. If he would have come out like he did in the last round, to come out early like that, maybe he could have been in the fight by the time the final bell was there. But he didn't even try until the last round. You know, I guess he figured Canelo was tired and knew he was way ahead. So he didn't even try to knock him out.
Yeah, you know what? And I think Bruce Gas, Boxing Jazz and More has the beat. That's Cheeseburger Berlanga. That's Cheeseburger Langa. Chingao. Yep. Guys, let's move on. We're on borrowed time. Number 3, Coach. Oh, boy. Fact or fiction, sir? Devin Haney was too aggressive when bluffing his weak hand against Team Garcia, and now we'll have to accept whatever King Rye is willing to give him. Fact or fiction, sir?
That could be a fact. That could be a fact. You know, the thing about it too is now, I don't know what's going to happen now with that case, because now that Haney has supposedly filed a lawsuit, some kind of lawsuit against him, and so we'll see where that goes.
Yeah, and now they've issued an ultimatum to Ryan Garcia, like they're the ones calling the shots, giving him 48 hours to comply to sign up with Veda Clean Boxing Program. And what would you say if you were part of Team Ryan?
Well, you know, when you fight for the world title, anyway, you have to sign up for VADA. So it doesn't make a difference, you know. It doesn't make a difference. And, you know, so I don't know what the issue was, but he should have been involved in VADA anyway.
He was. This was for the WBC, and all tests were clean up until the weigh-in and the post-fight testing, right?
Right.
So it's an ugly situation, but if I'm King Ryan, I'm telling him to go get bent. And I'm like, dude, you are nobody to be calling the shots at this time. In fact, you don't have a title anymore. So you can kiss my yeah. And guys, with that said, it's my pleasure to introduce at this time, well, Mr. Boxing Source, the incomparable J.R. Bell. How you doing, my friend?
Hey. We ain't ducking dodging to nobody. It's time for fact or fiction.
Woo! I'll tell you what. Speaking of which, let's go on to number 4. Can you see this, JR?
Yeah, here we go. Artur Beterbiev is Jason, Freddy Krueger, and Pinhead all rolled into one, and will make Canelo Alvarez piss his pants. Fact or fiction?
Oh, that's definitely a fact. That's a good one. I like that one.
Woo! I tell you what, Coach, are you excited for this showdown for all the marbles at 175 pounds this Saturday?
Yeah, man, it's about time this thing happened, and I know Batavia, he got hurt, before this was the fight a few months ago. So I'm glad to see this happening, man, and it's a great thing for boxing.
Oh, it's an awesome thing for boxing. And our guys, I have good news. We're going to be featuring our dear friend, Thomas Triber, the voice of Riyadh season. He's going to be joining us tomorrow, immediately following the media workout, tomorrow at 4 p.m. Central Time, 5 p.m. Eastern, 2 p.m. Pacific. So, guys, don't miss that. And my brother Sid, welcome to the show, sir. And he says, didn't Ryan Garcia say the case was dismissed a few hours ago? He was talking about the vandalism case in Beverly Hills.
Yeah.
Sorry, guys. But, that's another thing. And, well, anyway, we don't want to waste Coach Ronnie's time. We have more pressing news to get to, right? Number 5, Big James.
All right, here we go. Sergey Boychuk versus Israeli Madrimov will steal the show as the co-main event to Usyk Fury 2. Fact or fiction?
That could be a fact. I mean,
Oh,
this is going to be a great fight. This is going to be a great fight. And I don't know how much people know about either one of these guys, but both of these guys are really good. They can fight, and this is going to be World War II.
oh my gosh. And Coach, look, if Virgil Ortiz found out, oh yeah, this guy's a guy who's come forward and he's gonna let his hands go, and that's gonna easy pickings for a counterpuncher, but it's different when he uses that kind of volume and pressure.
Yep.
And boy, that's different energy now, isn't it?
Yes, it is. And this is going to be a great fight.
Who do you like just right off the gate? Who do you like, sir?
I like Israel McDonald's.
Really? You like Izzy Madrimov because of that counterpunching ability and the footwork, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So that's my favorite.
So, guys, look, we're 18 minutes in. Let's just cut to the chase, shall we? Number 6, James.
David Benavidez will suffer his first professional defeat at the hands of Osvari David Morrell Jr. in 2025 and will blame it on a nagging hand injury. Fact or fiction?
Yeah.
That's a fact, but it ain't going to be about a hand injury. It's going to be about getting his ass knocked out. Simple.
Hey.
Do you smell that, James? Can you smell that, brother? Woo!
You smell what the Rock is cooking?
I'll tell you what, can you smell what Osvari's cooking right now, baby? Now, Coach, now that David Benavidez and Luis de Cubas let the cat out of the bag, and obviously the date and the location, that's not official. You guys are still hammering that out, but why now? What prompted Team Benavidez to pull the trigger for this long-awaited showdown?
Well, I think, both guys are looking to be a force in light heavyweight division anyway. And, and since you go have an undisputed champion, by Saturday, I think, both guys want to put their name in at the top to fight whoever the winner is. So, so why not? This is the perfect time for both guys. They just both moved up, both won my minor titles in their last fight. So they want to just move up and say, hey, I'm the best fighter in the world. This is what I do. So let's get it.
Do you think, Ronnie, that this is a severe miscalculation for Team Benavidez? Do you think they've been looking too closely at the Hot Rod Vlachik fight and thinking that, well, maybe he's not as good as advertised?
Well, styles make fights, and they should know that, that style do make fights, and they haven't seen the best David Morrell, and he's young, he got a lot to show, and trust me, they're going to see it, and it's going to either be
Oh boy.
January 25th or February 1st.
Oh boy. The Saturday before the Super Bowl, right?
Yep.
Is it the Saturday before the Super Bowl or afterwards?
Yeah, Saturday before.
Yeah, I think it's going to be before.
Oh boy. Oh,
Yeah.
Chingao. My gosh, Coach. I can't wait. Honestly, this may be Fight of the Year 2025. I'm going to say it right now, guys. Or do you think, well, he's going to get a hard lesson in the immortal words of Eddie Futch? A bull doesn't know how to fight in circles.
He's going to get a lot of stuff. Trust me.
Yeah. Woo! I tell you what. Yeah, Osvari, here comes Scarface. James, do you have any questions for El Maestro, Ronnie Shields?
Well, I mean, I know that he's, definitely excited for this event. We've talked about this in the past multiple times in reference to the history between the two. And, finally, Benavidez said, hey, okay, let's go ahead and, get this fight. But David Morrell has been ready, ever since what, 2023 or something like that, So
Absolutely.
he's looking forward to this one. And yeah, he's going to show folks there, who the better David is in the division.
Well, I tell you what, can we look forward to seeing an exhibition post-fight between Coach Ronnie Shields and Coach Jose Sr.? Come on, baby. Woo!
I think they ought to make us the opener. Nah. You know what? I tell you what, him and I have been, we've been really cordial with each other. And and that's not gonna stop. He's a nice man. And, we had our differences, but we buried the hatchet. And now, you just let his son fight and my fighter fight. And that's it. Just gonna leave it at that.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what? He knew this day was coming. He knew this showdown was imminent. Come on now. That's the only reason why I was being cordial. He didn't want any of that Ronnie Shields smoke. Guys, we want to thank Mr. Eric Gomez for supporting the coach on this day. Ronnie. Yes, sir. It's good to have the coach back. And our brother Sid says this. Oh, Andre caused David problems and his legs were done. Imagine Morrell. Boy, he's a real problem. And Benavidez is going to learn the hard way why you don't mess with El Sicario. Hell yes. Boy, Canelo didn't want any of that smoke either.
It certainly did.
No.
Left for Canelo at either 68 or 75. He's running out of fighters.
Yes, he is.
So
I tell you what.
I'll say he's room for a certain fighter on October 12th. I'll just say that.
Uh-oh. Come on now. Yeah, brother. He's rooting for the oh my gosh, the Siberian Express. Man, I tell you what, can you guys hear me? Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
Can you guys hear me okay? Okay, very good. I tell you what, that is a scary man going back to that matchup that we're going to see on Saturday night. Honestly, he looks like he just crawled out of a gulag. Like, that guy's scary. Like, seriously.
No,
Like when he showed up in that Muslim robe, I was like, holy shit, man, this guy means business. Dude, Beevil's like, what the hell have I gotten myself into? Coach Ronnie, if you had to make Coach Ronnie, if you had to make a prediction, brother, what would it be for this Saturday night and why?
I think it's Arthur Batavia because, I think he's a lot stronger. And, this guy, he just don't know how to go backwards, and he's going to throw punches. He's going to throw a lot of punches. He's not going to sit back like Canelo did and just let DeVoe just run out 4, 5, 6 punch combinations and then step around and then come back and do it again. Batavia, he's going to punch with him And that's going to be the difference in the fight.
And when he touches you, right, no matter what
Oh,
range, when he touches you anywhere, well, you
oh
feel it.
yeah.
Just ask Lonnie B.
Yeah,
You know
you feel
Lonnie
it.
B.
Yeah.
Oof.
You definitely feel it.
Poor Lonnie B. And it's funny. Someone asked him, I don't remember what source it was, forgive me, but someone asked him and said, hey, if you were offered the Arthur Beterbiev fight, would you take it? And he said, hell no. No, not even if they offered me $5 million, I wouldn't take it. Nope.
Yeah.
What that now, doesn't it, Coach?
Oh yeah. Absolutely.
So you don't think Bivol can be the matador for 12 rounds in this fight?
I don't think so, because like I said, like when he fought Canelo, and he was running punches off on Canelo, and Canelo just wasn't firing back. Why he wasn't, I don't understand why he wasn't firing back. But Beterbiev is going to fire back, and that's going to be the difference. And Beterbiev is definitely stronger than Canelo, and he can really hurt you. So, and I think Beterbiev is the puncher in this fight. So, and I don't know if Bivol can stay away long enough to just make him uncomfortable. I just don't see it. I could be wrong, but I just don't see it.
You know what? It's hard to argue with the coach. James, do you concur?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, I said the
Oh,
exact same things,
woo!
a couple of days ago, because I compared it to, Dimitri Bivol fighting Santos Alvarez Barragan, and Alvarez basically is a counterpuncher. So he was basically waiting to see what Bivol was going to do, and then try to catch it with a counterpunch. His traditional, that. But when he's going up against a guy in Bivol that's a taller fighter, has the range, has the in and out and side to side movement, he can't necessarily fire back, because when he tries to fire back, Bivol was out of range. So that's why he got frustrated after about 5 or 6 rounds. But
Right.
it doesn't even have to worry about that, because he's going to be coming forward. So unless Bivol has a punch that can really make Beterbiev respect him, it could get ugly.
Well, look, Bivol has some crack in his shot, and he has one of the best jabs in boxing, if not the best. And he's got brilliant footwork, but will that be enough to keep Beterbiev from mid to long range?
I don't think the ring is big enough.
Yeah, oh boy, you could make it 100 by 100 and it still wouldn't be big enough. I'll tell you what, let's move on to number 7. I like this one. I like it.
All right, number 7. One word can only describe the proposed Martin Bakoli versus Agit Cabello fight. Timber
Yeah,
fabrication.
that's the word. That's the word. Timber.
Woo! So here it is, Ronnie. Which one do you like better, though? Martin Bakoli versus Cabello, or
Uh,
Martin Bakoli versus the Big Bang Zhilei Zhang?
Ooh, I like Jilly Jang and Martin Bakoli. I like that one. That's a certain knockout early.
Oh, hey, look. I know that in this business, it's a rule of thumb. There are no boogeymen, just non-ticket sellers. But
Yeah.
is that the case with Martin Bakoli?
Yeah, this guy, man, when he fought Jared Anderson, he showed everything, man. And, I seen him maybe once or twice before, but he's just not a household name. And, the fight with the Jared Anderson, that brought him to the light. Now people are looking at him and looking for him. So, this guy, he's going to make a name in the heavyweight division for himself.
Coach, even when we have heard of him, I can't think of very many heavyweights who are calling his name right now.
No, he's one of the guys that you stay away from. He's, the old saying in boxing, he's more risk than reward. So that's why all the top guys have stayed away from this guy. And no ifs, ands, and buts about it. They could say all they want to. Oh, there's no money involved, just that. They could say whatever they want to. That's what it is. He's more risk than reward. So people are going to avoid him like the plague.
Holy shit. And for good reason. Man, that guy can take a good shot, and he's
Yes,
hitting you with tree trunks.
yes. And look, Jared Anderson is a good puncher. And Jared was
Uh-huh.
hitting him and he walked through Jared. And I was like, oh my God, look at this. And he can punch. I mean, and then he was in shape. So that's a problem. And that's why I say he's more risk than a reward. So he's going to have to fight guys like Zane. He's going to have to fight those guys until he becomes the mandatory, because he's not going to get a fight with any champion until he's the mandatory.
Yep. And speaking of Zhilei Zhang, he recently stated through various media sources that he thinks if AJ is foolish enough to go through a rematch with Daniel Dubois, it's going to be his last fight. And he can't see it playing out any other way. Would you agree, Coach?
It's hard not to disagree.
Yep.
It's really hard not to disagree, because now Daniel Dubois, he's a monster. They
With that
have,
confidence?
but the confidence he had with Philip Herkovich and now with Anthony Joshua, that's something that, he could end Joshua's career. He really could.
Oh boy. Yep. We're moving on. We only have a couple minutes left,
Wait,
guys.
hey,
Uh-oh.
coach, I Big Bang, and I Bang Barton.
Oh, I love it. Keep speaking that broken English, Big Bang. I love it. I come to bang everything.
I bang everything.
Number 8, Big James. Woo!
Terrence Crawford and Teofimo Lopez need to grow up seriously. Yo,
Yeah, look,
yo, come on,
yeah,
yeah.
look. But look, these guys ain't gonna have a fight. So I don't see the argument. Leave it alone.
Yeah,
Let's move on.
nonsense and noise from two knuckleheads. It's like, come on, guys. This
Yeah,
is
no
not a
waste.
good look for boxing.
No.
Yeah, honestly, yeah, I just wanted to put that out there and address that real quick, because that's just nonsense. Here we go. Number 9, Big James.
Artur Beterbiev will knock out Dmitry Bivol in round 9 of their scheduled 12-round match for the undisputed light heavyweight championship and for light heavyweight supremacy. Fact or fiction?
Fiction. Look, Bivol is not an easy fight. This is a tough fight, regardless. And Bivol, he seems to take a good punch. And I think he loses this fight, but I don't think he loses by knockout. I really and truly don't believe that. I think he's going to go the distance in this fight, but I think if it is a knockout, it's going to be late. It's going to be late, and and I wouldn't be surprised if it's a stoppage on the stool.
You know what?
Ooh.
I like that prediction, Coach. I like that prediction. James, what say you, brother?
Beterbiev by stoppage.
Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Very good.
Yeah, I said stoppage. Beterbiev's going to win this one.
Well, guys, I'm going to have to be the fly in the ointment. I think Bevel, and we're going to find out tomorrow at the media workout. I think Beterbiev is compromised, and his knee isn't going to allow him to cut off the ring and close the distance effectively as he used to. And we're going to see him with one of those Serio Maravilla knee braces tomorrow. I'm hoping that's not the case, but we'll find out tomorrow, guys. It starts at 2 p.m. Eastern, right?
Now, I don't think you're allowed
Pacific.
to wear a knee brace in the ring for the fight.
This is in Saudi Arabia, Coach.
Wait,
Still,
where was that?
It's still under the boxing rules, though.
Oh,
Really?
man.
Yes.
Well, I tell you what, we'll find out, guys, because, oh, man, we'll see. Honestly, I really don't want to make a prediction until I see the media workout. Now, I know it usually isn't very revealing, but I have a feeling we're going to learn a lot about both fighters tomorrow afternoon. Guys, tune into that. And don't forget to tune in to Warwick Boxing. And we have Thomas Schreiber, the voice of Riyadh season. And
You
there it
sure?
is.
You sure?
There it is.
You sure it won't be like Lindartu against Lisa Baumgartner with Lindartu and the brace?
No, I think it's going to be like Sergio Maravilla Martinez versus in which he wore those knickers to the ring to try and hide those knee braces.
Oh man, yeah, it's gonna be bad. Oh boy.
Okay, well, let's hope that's not the case. Number 10, Big James.
The winner, Benavidez versus Morrell, will face the winner of Beterbiev versus Bivol in Saudi Arabia next year. Fact or fiction?
That could be a fact. I think everybody's looking at that fight now, and they're going to say, hey, the winner has to fight the winner of the undisputed. No doubt.
Oh, boy. I tell you what, you're going to be looking at that fight very closely, aren't you, Coach?
No doubt.
Yeah. So, because James wasn't a part of the early Fact or Fiction, we'll see if you have any questions regarding this one. Repeat, my friend, because we want to keep this. We want to keep this in the family. Go ahead, James.
Oh, okay. Jamal Charlo will be featured in a co-main event for Tank versus Roach on December 14th in Houston, Texas. Fact or fiction?
Oh, that's a definite fact.
Woo! Boom, baby. Yes, I love it. Now, number 2, because you weren't here it comes.
Number 2, Gervonta Tank Davis is facing Lamont Roach because he was the only fighter in and around 135 pounds that wasn't demanding a small fortune. Fact or fiction?
Yeah, that's a fact too.
So, you know
Yeah.
what? Let's go right to this because I want to get into this. Coach, what are your candid thoughts about Devin Haney suing Ryan Garcia for battery? Is this softer than baby shit or what?
Yeah, that don't belong in boxing, man. It's been so many fighters out there that have got into it outside of the ring. And you know what? They solved their problem inside of the ring. That's the only way to do it. Outside of the ring don't count for nothing. And this is a black eye for boxing. It really is. It doesn't belong in a sport. Take your ass whooping like a man. And if you want a rematch, do a rematch. Simple as that. You don't have to go through all this other stuff. It don't make sense. And look, it was a split decision loss, so say, you know what? Okay, I lost. Now let's turn around and let's do it again. And make amends. This is the sport of boxing. Shit happens. So get back in there like men and do it again. Simple.
Do you smell that, James?
Man.
Woo! That's an article right there. I'll tell you what,
Man.
Marcus, welcome to the show, sir, and thank you for supporting the coach. He says, Coach, I see Jamal Charlo has been training behind the scenes. Looks like a champ is in good spirits. Do we have an opponent set in place for Jamal right now?
Don't have an opponent yet. Like I said, we're looking at a few opponents right now. So we should be announcing something pretty soon.
Oh, I can't wait, Coach. I cannot wait. And Low Clarity, thank you for supporting the coach on this day. Good to see you going live so much lately, Joe. And I tell you what, let's keep this trainer rolling. Like I said, we've got an entire week lined up. We are going to be doing a special afternoon with Rick Glazer as well as Thomas Schreiber tomorrow. So look forward to that, guys. And Tony Manzano, my nephew from Florida, stay safe, brother. And he says, Ronnie, taking away that you're David Morrell's trainer, in your honest opinion, who is the worst style matchup for Arthur? Your David or David Benavidez? Very good question, Mr. Manzano.
I don't know, man, to tell you the truth, because, I haven't really sit down and watched Benavidez at all, to tell you the truth. I don't know. I mean, it's, I don't know, because,
Well, I look.
I mean, both styles are different.
Mm-hmm.
Both styles are different. So, but when I have to take a look and I have to go back and look at fighters that he fought, I haven't had to do that yet. So, until I do that, it's hard for me to say.
Well, I will answer this for you, and you're too kind, Coach Ronnie. Showing your future opponent some respect. I'll say it right now. Beterbiev destroys Benavidez. With that footwork, him crossing his feet like that, shit. James, what do you say? What say you, sir?
Yeah, I'll drop this in before I roll. Yeah, Beterbiev just runs through Benavidez. He'll be able to cut off the ring against. Well, he doesn't really have to put that much effort into cutting off the ring against Benavidez, but whatever he does, he'll just be able to, his power is just going to be too much for Benavidez.
Yep. Look, and who was the gentleman that gashed his head with that intentional headbutt? Right? Who was the guy who bashed Beterbiev and split his forehead
Marcus
wide
Brown.
open?
Oh yeah,
Marcus Brown.
Marcus Brown.
Did he seem the slightest bit deterred from that, like Tim Zoo? No? Then I can't imagine Benavidez throwing anything at him that would deter, well, yeah, that two-fisted attack from the Siberian Nightmare. That's all I'm going to say. Yeah, I've got Beterbiev winning big, and I've got David Morrell making it a very difficult night at the office for Arthur Beterbiev because of the sheer athleticism, youth, and, just the punching power, right? But I tell you what, yeah, Big James had to split, but guys, we're almost finished as well. And I tell you what, a couple last questions, right? Couple more questions, and we'll let Coach Ronnie go. He says, Joe, James, and Ronnie, if the rematch happens between Ryan versus Haney and Ryan dominates Haney like he did in their last fight, does it take away the argument from delusional Haney fans that Ryan was on roids?
Absolutely. It takes all of that away, Again, look, it was a good fight. It was a close fight. It's just that, Ryan was just better that night. Simple, and when in the rematch, Haney just had to go back to the drawing board, see what he did that didn't work in his favor. I mean, look, he still lost a split decision. So it's not like it was a wide decision, So
Yep.
He just had to go back and say, you know what? Forget all this lawsuit stuff. Let's fight this guy in a rematch. And I feel like I can beat him. And you know what? It's going to be a good fight. It could be a good fight. And I think everybody will want to see it. So instead of all the other stuff, though, you got to let that go and stick to the business.
Indeed. I tell you what, though, Coach, do you think Devin Haney and Bill Haney are going to want Harvey Dock to be the ref again?
Without a doubt, no.
Poor Harvey Dock. Had a bad day at the office.
Yeah, but the thing about it is, we can make excuses all day long. It wasn't the referee that lost the fight for him. Simple.
To be honest, I think it was the referee that caused him to be able to go the distance.
Yeah, absolutely. He helped him a couple of times. That's what he need to go back and look at.
Yep. And Big Luke, he says, still silence from the Iceman, John Scully, co-trainer of Arthur Beterbiev. Yes. Radio silence, brother. We're going to find out why tomorrow during the event media workout. Guys, tune into that one and tune in immediately following the media workout for our show. We're going to be going live right after. Jairo Galvez, welcome to the show, sir, and thank you for supporting Coach Ronnie, the living legend. Today, he says, Ronnie, will you be cornering anyone in the Mike Tyson versus Jake Paul undercard since it's in Texas?
Absolutely not. No.
Oh, Chingao. Look, I'm really still dialed in on Mario Barrios versus, Abel Ramos. Yeah. And I still don't like this matchup for Mario Barrios, no matter how you slice it. I don't like it, Coach.
Yeah, I mean, look, Ramos is a difficult guy to fight. He really is. He's a big guy, too. He's not a small guy, and then he's a southpaw, but, just watching his fights, man, the guy is strong. He can really punch, and not that, but Mario is a really smart fighter. And this is why Mario Barrios is where he's at right now because he is a really smart fighter. And so I'm not counting him out in this fight because I know he can box when he has to box. People go back and look at the fight when he fought Tank. You know what? He was so drained when he fought Tank. He just couldn't last. That's all it was. He was too big. He was too big fighting at that weight. He just couldn't make that weight. That weight killed him. And so now he's at the weight, that he feels comfortable at. He's strong at that weight, and he has a lot of boxing skills. So I'm not counting him out. I really think he can outbox him, but he just gotta watch out for the traps, that Ramos is going to set for him. And whenever he feels trapped, he just got to know how to get out and get away.
Indeed. We know that Bob Santos and Mario are busy working on that as we speak. And we've got a question from G Funky Boxing. Coach, you're still training David Stevens. Doesn't he have an event coming up?
Yes, I lost you, Joe. But yes.
Oh, I'm sorry. Can you hear me now, sir?
Yes, I can hear you. Yes, David Stevens has a fight on November the 2nd in Las Vegas, Nevada. He's fighting he's the co-main event to Floyd Schofield on November the 2nd in Las Vegas.
And there it is, guys. There it is. Woo-hoo! I tell you what, guys, we're just out of time, and boy, it's sad because I wanted to go another 30 minutes, but it looks like I'm having malfunctions here, so we're going to have to call it an evening. Coach Ronnie, do you have any parting shots for our listening audience, sir?
Yes. Before I do my parting shots, I just want to say I want to hope my friend, the guy I used to train before, Vanes Martirosyan. I read where Vanes has cancer, and he's been going to Mexico to get treatment, and I just want to wish him well. And I tried to call him today, but I wasn't able to get an answer today. But I'm gonna keep calling. And Vanes, just want to wish you well, man, and I'm be praying for you.
Well, I tell you what, that makes all of us, guys, and thank you for mentioning that. I had no idea. I'm gonna have to reach out to Vanes as well, because look, he's a great guy, and I know you've been on both sides of the corner for and against Vanes.
Yep.
And you'll never meet a funnier, more jovial, high-spirited guy than Vanes in this business.
Yep.
He is truly one of the good guys. So please, everyone, keep him in your prayers. And as well as the entire Carr family, because I just found out that Eddie Carr, trainer and father of Oba, just passed away today.
Oh,
so
my condolences to that.
Keep all of them in your prayers, guys. And I tell you what, guys, boy, it's a tough business. And let's just hope that Vanes makes it out okay and beats the Big C.
Absolutely.
Well, I tell you what, that's how I lost my dad, guys.
It's a great article on Boxing Scene on Vanes. So people need to, just go out and read that and then send your prayers to Vanes.
Excellent. We sure will. Thank you for mentioning that, Coach. And anything else, sir, that you'd like to bring up or advertise, something to promote on the calendar ahead?
Yes, on Amazon Prime this Saturday night, watch Bakir Yoenis Tez. He's the co-main event on the Tim Tszyu card, so be looking out for that.
Well, I tell you what, guys, that's something to look at because Tez, well, that kid can crack at 154 pounds, can't he?
Yep, yes, indeed.
There it is. We'll be looking for you in the corner, Coach. And I tell you what, guys, on behalf of Big J.R. Bell and on behalf of Living Legend, Coach Ronnie Shields, I'm Joseph Herron. You've been listening to Warwick Boxing. Have a great evening, everybody.
Affordable Dentures proudly presents living legend and elite level trainer Ronnie Shields.